She's a BCCI strength coach, and in the next 40 minutes, she's going to destroy every fitness rule you grew up believing. Does weightlifting actually stunt your growth?
It's actually a very long-lived myth.
She's trained professional cricketers under the BCCI, so I asked her the question every fan wants to ask. Be honest, could you outrun, outlift, or outplank most of the cricketers you've coached?
If I can outrun my athletes, then definitely they are not training, or probably I am not being able to train them to their max potential.
And then I surrendered myself. 6 weeks. Her rules? If I gave you 6 weeks to make me athlete ready, what's the very first thing you'd change?
First, I'll ask you how much daily water intake.
My guest today is Ahireta Mukherjee, strength coach, cricket performance specialist, and the voice behind MoveMental. Let's get into it. Hi, thank you for coming.
Hi, thank you for having.
Firstly, what even is ACE training?
The full form of ACE is American Council on Exercise. So it is one of the most, like you can say, the gold standard fitness certification that you can have.
Be honest, could you outrun, outlift, or outplank most of the cricketers you've coached?
That's a tricky question that you had, yeah. I mean, I would definitely give a very good competition to them, but if I can outrun my athletes, then definitely they are not training, or probably I am not being able to train them to their max potential. And if their max potential, they should be definitely do better and better than what I am or I can be able to do.
Everyone talks about salary. So why pick this career when finance or tech pays much more?
That's, yeah, quite a practical one. I mean, so if you look at the salary aspect, I think if you're good at anything, and you're obsessed with it, crazy enough to, just to be after it, I think you don't know how much can you earn in it. If you have good knowledge, science, have the knowledge of science, have the knowledge of biomechanics, kinesiology, okay, the anatomy, and you pretty well know that what you're doing, I think you'll have your own identity over this field of strength and conditioning, fitness, and anyway that will earn you a lot of bucks for yourself also. It's a good career to have, I feel like.
What's the most ridiculous fitness myth you wish would disappear forever?
I think that would be, if you have tightness in on your body, you should go for yoga or stretching. I feel like, so imagine, so if you take the rubber band and pull it from one end to the other, it's gonna be tight, right? Because I'm pulling it apart. So basically, when it comes to the tightness of the body also, it is the same thing. It's like, this is gonna get a little bit scientific in that matter, but understand, there are the two contractile protein in a muscle, okay? So let's name it X and let's name it Y. So when X and Y move far from each other, the muscle seems to or feels to be a little tighter.
So cricketers basically stand around and sprint suddenly. And how do you train a body for that weird mix?
So that weird mix is basically what we call the agility. So the agility is also a part of skill that you have to develop when you're playing for any sport that you're playing. So when you say, for example, walking forward, then you feel or you see something that is coming, maybe a ball, maybe a shuttle, could be anything that's coming towards you, right? Or maybe away from you, and you know that it's moving, okay, that's coming towards me. After dropping on the floor, maybe it's taking another direction. So I'm changing the direction from probably going straight to going right. So this is a kind of, there is a lot of drill that you actually practice on a daily basis, and it's a boring thing that you're gonna go over and over again each and every day to develop that kind of, I would say, muscle memory. Okay, so you know that if it is over that direction, I'm gonna move in this and then cut to another direction. So it's the drill that you're gonna keep practice day by day, every day, and then eventually it just follow throughs as a natural instinct when you're like playing.
What's one exercise every lazy teenager could do at home that actually makes a difference?
I would say one exercise, okay, if you say only one exercise, I would say it could be core that any teenager would start with, or say any animal flow. Do you know about animal flow?
No.
I'm sure. I mean, animal flow is the most interesting thing any teenager or say anyone can do. So it's basically comprised of all kind of primal movements, starting from crawling, okay, then having changing the positions to different movement and different posture. So it integrates a lot of stabilization in your body, breathing, strength in a way that you're constantly holding a position while changing the direction maybe, or holding a stability in your body while changing, or say extending with your arms to another direction. So it integrates a lot of stability, balance, and mobilities in your body. So animal flow, I think it tops. It's the basic movement patterns everyone, every teenager, everyone can do. Apart from that, could be working on your core muscles the most.
Some people say bribe yourself, only watch Netflix while exercising. And does that trick really work?
That's when, if you want to stay in your comfort zone, for example, say I'm having to run or jog, or let's say walking for 40 minutes, and that 40 minutes is going to be a lot for me to actually process. Okay, this is what my body is going through for this 40 minutes. It's going to be very boring. Maybe you can distract yourself with some Netflix and chill, if that works for you. But anyway, yeah, it's okay. If that works for you, why not? No worries about that.
Does weightlifting actually stunt your growth?
It's actually a very long-lived myth, I would say. So it basically actually came from early to mid 20. During that time, kids used to work as a labor, coal mines, factories, etc. So during that time, people have had their observation that this kids have really stunned their growth. The observation have come from there. It's not basically a scientific observation. It basically used to happen mostly because of the malnutrition the kids used to have at those time. But in real, if you train when you are young, say your early teenage, or I would say even a kid should start training or exercising as soon as he or she is able to understand what the coach is directing the child. So I think it has very good effect on your growth because it enhances the growth hormones, your bone density improves, then your cognitive ability functions, it enhances that. I would say it increases your ability to recruit motor unit in the body. Okay, so these are few factors that actually helps you for a better growth. I would say it is a lovely foundation for a young person to start at this age, say 6, 7. Okay, so it's a good foundation for your body to create a blueprint of basically to have a movement literacy in your biology. I would say that. Yeah.
Apparently, you can train in your pajamas and skip the fancy gym gear. So is the rupees 5,000 gear fit a total scam?
So in the gym, what are we there to do? Train, right? And I feel the best position you can have for yourself while training is where you can move your arms freely, moves your legs freely, moves your body freely. So I think if a person is comfortable in the pajama, like why not? It is baggy. You can have a baggy t-shirt. I mean, why not? That's the most comfortable way to train. So if you can, you can also have fancy dress, fancy gears for yourself if that keeps you motivated. But if that has nothing to do with the movement quality. I mean, the quality of clothes you're wearing, it has nothing to do with the quality of movement you're being able to perform on the floor. So I won't say it's a scam, but it's like if you like to wear good clothes, go ahead with that. If you're comfortable having a pajama and just a normal t-shirt, go ahead with that. You just need to train there on the floor. Other than that, doesn't matter anything.
I read this article which says that self control runs out by evening, so I work out later tonight. And is this basically a lie we tell ourselves?
Um, okay. So body is a very smart machine. Okay. If you run out your self control by the end of the evening, if you say, then probably you have to look at few factors that why is it happening. Because see, if you train at the night, then you have to make sure you're training at least 3 to 4 hours before you're hitting your head to the pillow. If you're doing that, that is fine. But if you think you can train at 9 p.m., say 8:30, 9 p.m., where you know that you have to sleep by at least 10:30, 11. Because what happens from 9 p.m., our body starts to secrete its own, I would say, the enzyme that helps you fall asleep. It's called melatonin. That starts to secrete when it's 9, from 9. Okay. So that's the time your body is coming into a rest and digest mode. But if you force your body to go against the system and train just because you feel like, no, I'm running out of my willpower by the evening, then first you have to sort this thing out. That's why is this happening? So if I'm training in the night, definitely I'm not being able to recover because I'm utilizing 9 p.m. Say I'm training from 9 to 10 p.m. 1 hours I'm training, and for the rest of the say 4 or 5 hours, my body system is hyped up because I just trained. My hormone levels are here. So my hormones level really needs to come down to here in order for me to, rest, sleep. So you have to work with the nature. Our body is also a nature. You have to listen to your body. If you think you will train in the night, you can never recover nicely. You can never recover completely to be ordered to, let's conquer the next day. You can never have that attitude. In the morning, you'll be feeling not, my soul has not returned to my body yet. Happens to a lot of people. After waking up, you feel like my soul needs some more time to return to the body. That happens because you have not recovered well, not just physically, mentally, emotionally, in all the aspect you haven't recovered. So once you are recovered, then you can take the next steps as it's, as you're supposed to. So maybe you wake up early in the morning, squeeze some time to train in the morning, and go for the school or college or work, come back home, rest a bit or go for work. Okay, come back home in the night, have dinner, get back home. So get back to sleep. So it's basically how are you going about your day? Why is it forcing you to choose late evenings or night period to work out, right? When that is the time for your body to rest. So you got to figure out the time where you can rest in the evening or late evening and work from the morning.
And if you work out for 20 minutes and that's just for twice in a week, is it fine or it's quite less?
That depends on who are this kind of which category are you talking about. Say for example, if there is a person who has a lot of workload, a lot of pressure, and can only afford 20 minutes to work out twice a week, I would say that's a win-win. But say if it's a teenager, if for a teenager, if you're training just 20 minutes twice a week, then make sure you're having outdoor sports at least for 3 more days in a week. Then that's enough. It is always depending on what are you aiming for. Is it just because you want to keep your vitals in its place? If it's just because you want to, you have a goal, you want to be better than what you are right now. Everything has its own dosage, own the whole prescription for the medicines, for the exercise would come into that place. What is your goal? If you want to keep your vitals fine, 20 minutes twice a week, nice. If you want to be just fit, again, 20 minutes twice a week is good for you. Just play outdoor sports.
And biggest fear most of us is looking clueless at the gym while everyone seems like a pro. So how do you get over the gym anxiety?
Yeah, this is something that I've experienced around me in the gym. But yeah, I would like to take this opportunity to, send a message to these people who really feels that, who really feels very conscious in the gym. I would say there is nothing to be conscious because the gym is a kind of area, everyone comes there on the day one, everyone feels the same. Since we all know where we were, and we all know when you walk inside, you're probably feeling in that way. So the gym, this area is very safe for you in a way that you're emotionally also very safe because no one is going to judge you. In fact, people will help you. We will help you in a way, right? So there is no way, there is no reason for anyone to feel like, oh, I'm lacking behind. These people are doing so good. Oh, maybe my body shape is not right. Look at these people around me. They are so fit. People around you who are fit are going to respect you enough. Even if you don't have a good shape, they're going to respect you enough because you decided to work for your health. That's the point to respect. And they're seeing you every day. You're walking in, you're doing your work. That's the point to respect. It doesn't matter how you look, whether you can do or not. Doesn't matter. You decided to do, taking the first step, sticking to it, that's what matters. And everyone inside that space respect that fact.
Your account is called MoveMental and not Move Body. Why is that so?
Yeah, that's a nice question. So my account name is MoveMental because I feel body is not about just exercising it physically. Even if you have to exercise yourself physically, can you do without involving your brain? You can't, right? In order to move in a certain way, your brain needs to work in a certain manner too, right? So it's an integration of the body and the mind. And when I say movement is not just body and the brain, but the movement is also about how, say for example, how well you're put in by your psyche. By that I mean, say you have to run 10 meters under a certain amount of time, right? you will have a pressure. When you're competing, you will also have a pressure on yourself that I have to finish in this certain time. Now, when you if you don't have a calm mind, will you be able to say finish it the way you think you can finish it? Probably when you have a calm mind, when you know that you can work under pressure, you have prepared for this, you know that you can do it however the way you are. So I feel like this mental work, it also develops when we work physically. If you feel like this is a 20 kg barbell and you have never lifted in your life, and you don't know whether you're physically capable of it or not. So there are two kind of people. One who will think I have never lifted, probably it's better not trying to lift it. And the second category people will, I have never lifted, but okay, let me try. What if I can? That's a mental push, right? So when you come to the gym, you actually get mentally strong at first, even before touching the barbell. So it's always body and mind. So I guess that was the whole idea behind having this username of mine, Ahireta MoveMental.
Be honest, do children actually need protein powder or is it just marketing?
Well, when it comes to children, I would say children should focus more on having whole food. You can never beat whole organic food by any protein powder in the market, by anything in the market. Whole food is the only solution, but also we need to keep this fact in mind that say whether you have any kind of whole food, that could be veg, that could be non-veg, could be anything, but the bioavailability of the food after cooking, say for example, are you veg or non-veg?
I'm veg.
Veg. Okay. Say for example, you have got a certain okay, you have got a paneer. Okay. Now the paneer, let's say a piece of paneer is, let's say a piece of paneer has 2 grams of protein. Let's consider this hypothetically, 2 grams of protein. Okay. So after you boil the piece of paneer, somewhere or the other, the bioavailability of that food is getting away, like it's going away with the process of cooking. Okay. So probably now instead of having 2 grams, probably you're having 1.5. Just hypothetically saying. So what I'm trying to say is, after cooking the food, the bioavailability of the food comes down. So when we think, okay, we are having 100 grams of, or say 60 grams of protein, I think I'm consuming. But if you consider the bioavailability of the food, probably you're considering much lesser than what you are actually you're thinking to consider. So at that time, probably a scoop of whey protein helps in a way to conclude, okay, after this I know the balance of my diet is complete right now, because I know for sure 24 grams of protein I have had, and I'm managing the other part of as the protein, other parts of I mean the nutritional part I'm talking about, you're having from the whole food. So the focus is to have maximum nutrition that you can have from the whole food, and whatever that you feel that you're lacking behind, you can compensate that from the whey protein. So it's not a scam. It depends on how it's a tool. It depends on how you can smartly use it, and you can use it for you, but not against you. Because I've come across many like quite a few teenagers who thinks I'll have some rice with a protein powder, or maybe just the protein powder as my meal. That's not how it works. Then the protein powder is going to work against you. You have to focus on having whole food, the whole meal. And if you feel कि you have the demand left in your body, say you are a specialized MMA athlete, or a footballer or a cricket, your demand a little bit higher than the general population. In that aspect, you can take. But if your demand is not more than the general populations, then it is not required.
Can strength training help with anxiety, stress, or confidence? If yes, how so?
100%. 100%. So, when you start doing the strength training, firstly, the thing that you're teaching is coming out of your comfort zone, right? Now, when you start lifting the weights, if you lift weight, it's not just your muscle is building. It's not just that. It's the whole system of endocrine that's having, I would say, a rewiring that's happening inside your body, inside your chemical system. That's your hormone. So when you start training, definitely your growth hormone responses spikes up a bit. Okay. The happy hormone, which is called endorphins, it releases right after you train. Okay. You be able to basically train the threshold of your cortisol, which is also called the stress hormone, which is also known as the stress hormone, I would say. So you can also train the threshold of your cortisol level. So definitely when you start training, due to the hormonal changes that you go through over the period of time while training, it increases the level of feel-good hormones in your body, like serotonin, dopamine, endorphins, all this. Okay. Also, you know how to manage your stress because you're also constantly working on, increasing the capacity of, say, the tolerance of cortisol in your body. So you always play with that level also. So basically, you're balancing your system, right? The stress hormone, the happy hormone. You know how to tap into it. So you'll never have things going around you as per how you expect it to be all the time. But then, since you have kind of trained the threshold of your stress hormone while training, so let's say, for example, a certain things used to take, say, for example, 10 minutes. 10 minutes, something is happening that you don't like, that's happening around for 10 minutes. You used to get triggered after 10 minutes, say, for example, that's your threshold. Now, after a point, say you're training for quite a good time, okay? This threshold will increase. Probably you're gonna get bothered, you're gonna get affected by it after 15-20 minutes. But then this elevation of 5-10 minutes, you can work on focusing how can you fix that, right? How can you help it not to get affect you that much? So this is how you can manage your life around. So when you think you do the small things right in your life, anyway you're gonna get more confident, right? When you do the small things right and you know that, okay, like I am in my control, probably all the things are not in my control, but I am in my control. So that anyway makes you relax, makes you a happy-go-lucky kind of person. So that anyway makes you a confident kind of person.
Coaching pro athletes at the Odisha Cricket Academy was the best day on the job, or was it the toughest day?
I would say both in the way. That was my first project under BCCI, the first assignment under the BCCI. So that was tough and that was fun. And since that was tough and that was fun, I feel those are the best days because I've learned a lot. I've had very good times with the team members and everyone over there. So it was both best times and a tough time. I would say it's both.
If I gave you 6 weeks to make me athlete ready, what's the very first thing you'd change?
First, I'll ask you how much of water do you take daily? What's your water intake? Daily water intake?
Maybe two.
Daily water intake.
Yeah.
Okay. And when do you sleep?
10.
Okay. So then the first thing I will start with is putting you under a good hydrating program. I would want you to drink ample of water, adding a pinch of pink salt into it, making sure it's not just your body that is getting the water, but adding a pinch of pink salt into it will make sure that your muscle is also hydrated. Okay, when your muscles are hydrated, then I will definitely shift my focus on when you're sleeping. I would want you to sleep 10. 10 is good time. 10 every day. You're sleeping 7 to 8 hours a day, having ample of water. Only after then, I will bring you into the float for training. That was the first thing I would change in you.
I was reading an article and this famous coach said that the easiest part of his job is to make athletes strong and the hardest part is to get them to actually believe in him. So is that true for you too? Or and how do you get a cricketer to trust a plan? To trust your plan?
So, yeah, I mean, you can definitely train a player. It is not very difficult for the player to trust you, they want to trust you. But you will have to tick few boxes firstly in there. Tick few boxes for them, as in, you need to know what you're doing and you need to communicate that way with the player. Okay. Now, when the player knows what you are doing and you know what you're doing, and where the player starts to see the result coming in, they'll automatically trust you. Okay. That's the foundation over which you have to build the progression of. Okay. So, and now, yes, that's the most difficult thing is when a player needs to realize that, yes, I'm capable of what my coach is seeing in me. That's the difficult thing. And that comes with a lot of, I would say, a lot of failures. After a lot of failure, you finally find the right attitude with the approach towards the thing that you were failing by, I mean, by this time. So once you find the right attitude and approach towards the thing, towards the goal that you were aiming for, then you start to believe. Okay, that's in term of performance. But say agar in term of, if you're talking in term of lifting weights or in term of performing some movements, then I would say again it just the matter of process. When the process is correct, everything falls into its place. And the players, the athletes do really wants to trust themselves, but they just need to, sometimes few learns by failing. Sometimes few learns better, by watching someone how they're being able to do something that say, for example, if I want to get a century, I would watch maybe how Virat Kohli is facing few challenges that I am currently facing at this point of time. What is he doing? What is his process? What can I take from him? So in the same way, when a coach basically start guiding the player, eventually the player starts to believe themselves. It doesn't happen magically, but with the process, it happens anyway.
After all your years of coaching cricketers, who's someone that you will stay connected to forever?
I am basically a very aloof kind of person, to be honest. But I am always having my door open for whoever wants to stay connected with me, and I reciprocate in the same manner. But if you say that, if you think that I'll be the one who's gonna, approach, keep the connection, keep the friendship, keep the bonding. That doesn't happen from my end because I'm a kind of very aloof kind of person. But anyone, I still have a lot of connected friends that I'm connected with cricket since 2007. And I'm not a very engaging kind of person always.
If you suddenly had to run a whole training program tomorrow with almost no notice, how would you handle that?
Oh, that would be fun. That would be challenging. I mean, that would be fun. I mean, yeah. So the first thing I think I'll do it, I'll just walk into the room. I'll read the room. I'll give 10 minutes of warm up to all the players in the team. And by the time I'll understand who is standing where, what's the condition, then your body moves. Your body can only move in the 7 primal pattern. That is, sitting on the couch would be squat, picking something up from the floor, deadlift. Okay, say you have to open a door, pulling. Say you have to take something and put above your head on a shelf. That would be pushing, or you're closing a door, it could also be pushing. Okay, then another thing that you can do is your body can do is lunge. Your body can run, walk, that's the gait pattern. Your body can rotate, right? These are the 7 primal patterns. So I'll simply pick probably 2 from each primal pattern or 1 from each primal pattern. As simple as that.
So thank you very much for coming.
Thanks for having me. Thank you so
I
much.
really enjoyed your time.
I really enjoyed this as well. Thank you so much.
And that's Ahireta Mukherjee, everyone. Go follow her on Instagram at MoveMental. Catch you again on the next Mac and Magic.